Okay, next one. So, after my brother Jeff passed away, I was very scared to go back to the house because, like I said, I only been on my own for like 3 months there as a single mom. Their dads weren't around, and when my brother passed away, I just was really spooked, and so I didn't like all the children and I being in separate rooms. So I bought an Arab mattress and I put it out in the living room. And that's what we slept on for several months. And I remember Cindy, thank you Cindy for this. I remember being so spooked that my one of my best friends, Cindy, I was telling her about it and she said, well, why don't you take her dog, to your house, and that'll make you feel a little more secure, because we're not in a great neighborhood, And so she let me take her awesome dog. And that dog, alerted to everything. I was more scared with that dog alerting everything so I'm like, okay, take your dog back. So anyhow, I would sleep there with the boys. And this one night, I always did my, lock up and all that, and then I'd go to bed. Well, this particular night, we were watching movies, and I fell asleep watching movies. And I wake up to the sound of my brother Jeff saying, Sam, Sam, Sam. I'm telling you, I sat straight up, looked directly at the back door. There was no time to even think. It was instant. I knew. I just sat straight up, looked directly at the back door. And what had happened was my oldest son had taken the garbage out earlier. And we had a security gate and then the regular door. And the backyard had a chain link fence, and an alley. So anybody, and I'm talking, this is a really rough neighborhood. There's a lot going on all hours of the night. It's not a good neighborhood. So anybody walking down that alley could clearly see that not only was my security gate wide open, but also my door was open enough that you could see that it was open. There was light coming through it. And so when I heard my brother call my name and I actually sat up and looked at the back door, I know that was a warning. And so I got up and I went over there and I shut the door, locked up the house and all that. That was just one instance. Then he would always help with cleaning and stuff. And whenever he would clean the house, he would put the stereo on. He was always had the stereo going. And the stereo would come on. All of a sudden, I'd been there for a couple years and never had that issue, but all of a sudden the stereo would come on. Out of nowhere, no one's around. But I logically explained all that away. There's some sort of, electrical thing, or there's some sort of this or that. And never really thought much of it, And then one day I'm driving and I'm having a pretty hard time. I'm just looking at the time here. And I remember I was at Grand Avenue, and it's more of an industrial area, There's nothing around there but lumber yards and industrial stuff. And this butterfly comes up to my window. I'm sitting in a Grand light. Anybody that lives in Arizona knows the Grand lights, when Grand kind of crisscrosses, you can sit there for some time. But I'm sitting at this light and this butterfly comes up and it's right here in my face. This went on for a good 30-45 seconds. Doesn't sound like long, but it's a long time to have a butterfly just sitting right here in your face. And ever since then, and this is important for later, he comes to me as butterflies. I know that.